In this video, we're going to discuss what a stratified sampling process is. And you'll see we start with a map here of actually the House of Representatives. And what this map does is tells us how many representatives there are in each state in the U.S. So you can see California over here to the left has 53 representatives, and Vermont all the way over here to the right only has one representative, and it's based on population by their state. And the reason I start with this map is I think it does a good job describing what the breakdown would look like um, for a simple random sample. Okay, so we've already talked about what a simple random sample is. It's when you have a sample where everyone in the population has the same chance of being selected, and then every possible sample from that population has the same chance of being selected. So if we were to list everybody in the country in alphabetical order, and we gave everybody a number, and we randomly selected a sample size of 435 people, which also happens to be the amount of representatives we have in the House, there's a good chance that the breakdown of those subjects would be proportional to the House of Representatives. Now, it's not exact, but you could definitely make a safe bet that out of that random sample of all the people in the country, there's a significantly smaller percentage. Maybe there's only one person from North Dakota, and there's 50 people from California, and there's 30 people from New York, and there's 7 people from Louisiana, 25 people from Florida, 3 from Nebraska, 1 from Wyoming. These numbers are all proportional, again, to not the size of the state, but the number of people you have in the state. So when I think of the House of Representatives, I think of a simple random sample where everybody has the same chance of being selected, and our sample is very representative of my population. That's what the House of Representatives are intended to do. Now, again, we want to look at this video to explain not what a simple random sample is. We've already done that. We want to look at what a stratified sampling method is. Okay, and a stratified sampling method, and I'm just going to write this word over here to the right. This word strata. Right. When we think of strata, we think of a division. We think of a group, a level, and that's really what a stratified random or stratified sampling process entails. Before you list everybody in alphabetical order and then you pick a group of people randomly, you actually first group them and then you pick them randomly. So it's not truly random. It's a little more structure to it, whether it's for the better or the worse. Um, it's just a different way to sample. So when I think of a stratified sampling method, uh, instead of thinking of the House of Representatives, I think of the Senate. And the reason I think of the Senate is because the Senate is a more structured approach to getting representation from the states. What I mean by that is it doesn't matter how big your state is or how small your state is. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. Every state has 2 senators. So if I were to say select a sample size of 100 people, right, from the population. If I was conducting a simple random sample, I'd list everybody in our population alphabetically, give them a number 1 through whatever, and then I would pick randomly 100 people, right? And that's a perfectly good way to pick that sample. With a strata, it's a little bit different, okay? I'm going to still select my sample of 100 people, but instead of just picking them randomly, I'm going to split them up into groups first based on their states, and then I'm going to randomly select 2 people from each one of those groups, right? So I have 50 groups according to state, and then within those groups, I randomly select 2 people. See the difference? They're put in groups first. They're grouped according to a certain variable, whether it be their home state, whether it be their political party, or whether it be their gender. That's another way to do it as well. Put them in groups first, and then you select your sample randomly. Okay? So again, when you think of Senate, think of stratified sampling. When you think of House of Representatives, think of a simple random sample. Okay, and while we're back at this House of Representatives map, if you ever forget your electoral college, that's where that number comes from. It's actually your House of Representatives plus the number of senators you have. So California, that's what everybody wants to get that state. 53 representatives, 2 senators, it's 55 electoral college votes.